Number Thursdays, UIC Radio, y'all. Thank you. We got Original Cool in the building.
What up, what up, what up?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's up?
You're not new to this, bro. You've been
Definitely
here a couple
not.
times.
What's good?
For sure. We also got Manny in the building. MM Visual representing. The homie Light, produced by Light. Liz representing LDR Studios, of course. Creative Space. DJ Nico. Myself, DJ C's Days. DJ Sound will be in the building shortly. And our special guest for today, man, we got Holt in the building, man.
What's up, guys? I'm on the radio.
Have you been here before, bro?
Now, I ain't never been to UIC,
Really?
but I've done all the radio shows in the city. I did, all of them.
Yeah.
But
All
you know,
of them, every single one.
come on, bro.
That's what's up.
Anything Chicago?
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for coming through, man. Thanks for taking the time, bro. I know you've been traveling a lot, man. You just came back to Chicago. So thanks for stopping by, bro.
Of course, man. Like I said, anything for the crib.
Yeah, most
Bro.
definitely.
What's poppin'?
What's been going on with you, man? You just dropped an album.
Yes, just
Okay.
dropped the album and it's doing very well. I'm super excited about it because it was quite the tumultuous situation to get out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
My first album. Well, I mean, actually, I don't even know it. I guess it might have been. Maybe it's the way, but this is the first time putting out a record already being established. Like my first album, the album was done before they even signed me, so it was just
Okay.
ready to go. You know what I mean? So I took my time on that one. I was just doing my thing, and then the crazy thing is the first album, all those beats, every beat on there, and every song was the first one I ever made. There was like those. Every beat on that album is like those are the first like 12 beats I ever made in my life on that project. And the first like
And what part was that? The
the
self-title?
whole, self-title
Okay.
album, the whole one.
Okay.
And so this, I was learning how to produce while making the album. I don't believe in that whole like, oh, you gotta hold 600 songs first to put out. Like obviously when I listen back, there's things I would change, but I still think it's dope because it sets a tone for, what it was like the bare bones kind of version of my sound. But those are the first songs I ever wrote like that and the first beats I ever made. So like there was no expectation, you know what I mean? And then the second record, like, because I had that first album out, there was something to compare it to and all that. And then we moved to LA and all of that. So being on the label, working on this album was hard because I had to they had me deleting songs.
Right.
What the funny thing is this album wasn't even supposed to be the next album. My next album was gonna be called Original Crazy, and it was just gonna be gnarly as hell, which will be the album that I'm gonna put out after this.
Okay.
But this album came to fruition kind of on accident because we was working on a project. Well, Ye had us working on a whole group project again for good music. So he was like, submit some songs. So I submitted 2 joints, but I made them for that, and they was cracking. And then nothing was happening with the project. I'm like, when are we working on this? Was good, and nothing was really moving. So I made some more songs. You know what I mean? I was like, what about these? What about these? And they liked all the ones I made, but I ended up making I think it was 5 or 6 joints, right? That was solely supposed to be on the project. So I was like, well, if we're not finna put no record out, I gotta do something with these songs. These joints is all hitters, right? But they was all kind of for that vibe, right? They was all kind of like party hitting. And the first joint actually was the song Ace. That was the first joint I made for that project. And I was like, Ace is too cold. I gotta put this song out, bro.
As
So
a
I was
single
like,
at least, right?
yeah, exactly. So I was like, man, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do the one-off. And it was just all these things. Maybe I'll put out an EP. And then I was like, well, I'm a crazy punk rock dude. So these songs is all kind of like hits, right? And I was like, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do like a duality type of project, and I'm gonna have 6 party hitting that, joints,
Right.
and then I'm gonna make 6 super hard punk songs, and then I'm gonna just give you the exact extremes on both sides, right? So I made 6 punk songs in like a week, and they was all slapping. And then I was like, I don't want to do this, right? So then I made the album cover for this album like 3 years ago.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, crazy. So I was like, I'm gonna put it out. I'm calling it the Hxlt wave. Like, this is the wave. This side it was gonna be left side and left side and right side. And the right side was gonna have all the songs, and then the left side was just gonna be with all the punk songs. Gonna be left side 1 through 6. So each song is gonna be called left side 1 through left side 6.
Cool.
And I came to them one day. I'm like, I want to do this, and they was like, we don't know, because they was like, we like the 6 party songs, but these punk joints, we Def Jam, which I was like, come on, fam. And then they tried to hit us. Well, we did have, because I guess they signed like Rancid or Biohazard or some super hard punk people was on Def Jam, but that's when Rick Rubin was there because he was part of that world.
Right.
But so they basically, what happens with some labels is they won't say no or yes. They'll kind of just be like, I don't know.
Yeah, they kind of leave you in the dark.
Yeah, and then if something hits, but that doesn't necessarily mean like that's bogus or anything. Really, you just gotta turn up, right? So I was like, well, I want to put these songs out, and they was like, oh, I don't know. And then my other homie was like, well, if you're gonna make a project like this, you might as well make an album, because then at least you'll get the bag with it. I'm like, facts. So then I was like, all right, I'm gonna take these punk songs, I'm gonna leave like 1 or 2, and then I'm gonna, like, I had a bunch of random like verses and songs like that. So I made this little project, and I don't know if y'all heard it, but I put it like about a year and a half ago. I put out a project called Old Wave. It was like 6 songs on SoundCloud only, so I can have it out for free. And that had all the punk songs on there and like some hard, verses. And then the songs that I thought were meatier, I kept for the Bloom from Doom album. And then I played on that album, and it was like, it was a lot of that, like, I don't know, we ain't heard from bro in a minute, you know what I'm saying? And then I just finally I ain't gonna front, I kind of got depressed, because I was like, I moved to LA and I did the whole thing like, all right, yo, what's good? We finna get it popping. And then it was kind of quiet. And so I feel like every artist goes through this thing where they be like, man, ain't nobody rocking with me, man. You know what I'm saying? They bogus, man. My manager, whoop-de-wop. And that's really a waste of time, because you are the product, right? You're the thing that drives everything. You are what makes the universe go around in your world. So if you not doing nothing, you ain't giving them nothing to do, right? So I was like, I got depressed for a minute. I ain't gonna front, you know what I mean? But I never, like, nobody knew. I wasn't like out here like,
Right.
I just like ate it and did what I had to do. But then, like, I was working on the songs. I never stopped working on music, even in my depression. And my son was like 1.5 at the time. And he blew my mind this one day, because he just sat still and just listened to the music. Like, I'd be in I had like a little studio corner in my crib. So I'm sitting there just making beats, and he would just come in and sit on my lap and not make a sound, not move, not grab, nothing, just chill and just listen to the stuff. And he's like that with all music now, but I just thought that was amazing. And I was like, and I started to think like, man,
He was paying attention. Sounds like he was trying to learn then.
well, yeah, he was just like really in tune with it, but it just threw me in this weird headspace where I was like, man, if I died and he heard my album, would he know who I was, right? And when I started to think about it in that way, like, what am I leaving on this earth? Not saying I was like suicidal or nothing like that, but it was just like, at the end of the day, when you listen to these classic albums that you love, some of these artists ain't around no more, you still feel like you know them. Like, when I listen to Queen, I feel like I know who Freddie Mercury is, and David Bowie and things like that. And those things stand the test of time. You don't know if they was hits when they came out or whatever, right? And so I changed my focus, and I literally got mad and was like, I'm tweaking, bro. Like, go make some songs, fam. So I went and I erased all of the songs that I didn't think were really that me. Like, they was hits, but I was like, maybe I'll sell these or something, and I'll just put them in a box for later. And I just only put songs on the record that, like, if you heard the song, you'd be like, dang, I feel like I know, bro. And that's why I changed the name to Bloom from Doom, because it was like me getting over my own thing and just popping.
Your own mindset at
exactly,
that time,
right. And then it had nothing to do with the label or the manager. There was nobody to blame. This business, like, people have misconstrued where it's like, oh, they're full of snakes, so they're gonna hold you back. Nobody holds you back. You still got your arms and legs. You still got a voice. You can still go out on the stage. You can make it happen. And if something pops, they gonna get behind it. That's how the business works. They don't make you a star. They don't do anything for you. They let you do your thing, and then if it cracks, they double it. And that's what it is, right? So that's what I did.
Yeah. No, most definitely, man. Sounds, I just think that was really dope. How you said your focus had to change a little bit, and when it did, because I hate like losing my work and having to start over. But sometimes you need that. Yeah. You need to just scrap everything and start from scratch. But
the crazy is that's the thing is like when you get focused, it's so much easier because I had like I had like a year and a half of this run around song here or there, and then when I refocused, I knocked this album out dumb quick, bro, like dumb quick, because I was like, nah, that's it, this the single, and then I literally snapped, right? So then let me let y'all ask some questions.
Nah, man, you dropping gems. Some game, man.
I talk a lot, bro.
That's all good.
I wanted to go back a little bit. How'd you get in tune with Ye and the Good Music Cats, man? Cause that happened a while ago, right?
Yeah, I know Ye since well, what it really was GLC, right? Mm-hmm. So GLC is like Chicago legend to this day, utmost respect and love. That's Big Bro till I jump out the window. That's Big Bro, right? Yeah. So I me and my cousin Mano, we started everything together. Like that's my blood cousin. Like we was like sleeping at each other's house every day since we was like 9 years old. This is my best friend and cousin still, right? Mano was a producer and I was a rapper back in the day because I felt like that's what I had to be. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like I could be this different kind of artist because it didn't exist back then. I couldn't even wear tight clothes back then. I was wearing G.O.O.D and all white ones. Yeah, for real. Like, bro, we from the South Side. It wasn't none of that. Like, so I would secretly like punk songs and stuff like that. But I'm digressing. Me and Mano were just always into everything. If there was something to be into, we was into it. If you was skateboarding, we was trying to skateboard. You was breakdancing, we was trying to breakdance. Karate, comic books, anything that had a subculture, we like would dive into it and learn everything about it, right? We started collecting kazals and doing all this cool stuff. And so he used to make beats all day and I would rap. And we would always just go to like little functions and things like that. So like, Kanye would have a back to school clothing drive or something, whatever, right? So we would just always be around and try to be at whatever was functioning. And people from the South Side, if you doing something, well, it's really Chicago as a whole. If you're doing something in the city, you're going to be in tune with other people in the city. Right. So we would always show up and be around stuff and whatnot. We'd meet them. I remember, like, we would hold the signs up, the college dropout signs, so we can get into the show for free. We would hold the signs up and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And then we would meet, we just meet people. People in Chicago was cool. So, like, Cootie and Chike and the people that was around him at the time, they always showed us love. And we were crazy ambitious. It was like, we're going to get on that stage. So we would just like finesse any way we could to get into whatever we needed to do. We just had to drive. And so over time, we just, they started to just notice us. And then we met Manop and all of them. But we never ever once was like, yo, dog, put us on. We was never on that. We always carried ourselves with a high respect. So I started to hang out in the hipster scene in Chicago. It wasn't even called hipsters yet. It was literally the art scene, right? So Milwaukee Avenue used to just be like no man's land. There was nothing on that block whatsoever. But all above every storefront was these lofts. And we used to throw all the parties in the lofts, right? And so I started throwing parties. I just became mad popular in that area because I was like one of the only aggressive black dudes over there. So I would just take stuff over, right? You know what I mean? And like I went from being at the parties to throwing my own parties and things like that. And then around 2008, this whole dance, music, rap wave kind of popped. And I used to throw all these parties in Chicago. We had like a party house. Me and my man Joe Suda and a couple of others. So it was like I lived on the top floor, graffiti writer dudes lived on the middle floor, and a metal band lived on the third floor. And the building owner was mad cool. And we had a giant basement that was like the size of a club. We had a 6-foot half pipe in the backyard. Like, yo, we was nuts with it. So I would throw parties there, and because I'm from the South Side, and I'm, all my hood homies would come to the parties. I used to be in the punk scene super hard when I got up north, so all the punk kids would come to my parties. All the skateboarders would come to my parties. All the b-boys, every different subculture would come to my party, and nobody would act stupid because they would all respected me. So then you had this kind of utopias area where somebody with a 3-foot mohawk and somebody from out south could talk and not feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, man, bro, why you wear your hair like that? And they could have a real conversation because they was all coming in off of my name. And I was like, we started booking like these crazy DJs. I'd be like, all right, bro, I want to hear 3 6 Mafia and Hall & Oates. So play everything. Because before us, there was, you went to the dance club to hear dance music, you went to the hip hop club for hip hop, you went to the punk bar, everything was segregated. So we just, over time, kept throwing these parties, and they got so big that club owners started coming to our parties and being like, man, we want y'all to do this at our club. And then we was like, all right, well, no dress code, no charging, none of that. And you got to let us book the DJs. And I was like, cool. You want to do it on a Wednesday? I'm like, yeah. Because, Friday, Saturday is their money day. So we started throwing these parties everywhere all over the city. And then we desegregated the music in the downtown clubs. And people started performing at my parties, right? And my man's Josh Kirk had a party, and I had a party, and all these homies had parties. And so MTV and Vice magazine, all of these people started coming to the city to come see what was going on with this big wave we had. And Kid's sister was performing her rap songs, and Cool Kids was. And I was like, I can rap. So I was like, I'm gonna make me a song, right? So I made a song, threw it up on the MySpace, and boom, I was lit. Like instantly. And then Mano started making remixes, right? So we got ourselves popping in Chicago, had our own scene, had our own buzz, and Ye took notice to that. So Ye, he was like, oh, that's the little homies that be around us, right? So Ye used to have a blog, and he was the first person to post my video for my first single, and he posted it on his blog, which blew me up even more. And then MIA, everybody that was cracking at the time was just riding behind me, and I just thought that was so dope. But the first person to ever give me a feature in my life was GLC. GLC was the first, he was super poppin' famous at the time. Spaceships was everywhere. And he did a verse for me, and I just was like, off the love, didn't ask me for no money, none of that. And I was just like, Big Bro is the man, right? And then off of that, we just would hang out and whatnot. And then Mano had a relationship with Ye. We just all kind of kicked it together and whatnot. And then our careers just kept flourishing and whatnot. But it was a long time. I was stuck in a deal for 5 years under the Hollywood Whole Rap Act, which literally spawned this thing, right? I started making the music that I really wanted to make, the music that I love. Because I'm like, dude, I'm a full-blown, everybody know me at the punk shows. This is my life. I love this music, right? But I'm making rap music. And I'll be walking around with melodies in my head all day. But I thought, I can't make this because I'm,
stuff.
I don't know how to use Pro Tools or whatever. I don't know how to play guitar good. So I guess, but I'm from this real life out here, so I can definitely rap about that more than these dudes can. So I'm gonna do that. But then I went to South by Southwest, and it was there's black dudes in punk bands. There's Asian dudes gangster rapping. Everybody can do everything. Ah! And I went crazy. And then so after that, I just started to slowly formulate. And I had made, bro. If I'd have put that first album out that I had for the Hollywood Whole stuff at that time, bro, I would have been massive, bro. It was such a banging album for that time. But time runs out. Yeah. But because it was shelved, I was stuck, and I got so tired. I made 500 rap songs, bro. I got tired of rapping. I was like, what am I rap about now, right? And I was and I had all these other songs in my head, and I was like, man, I'm gonna just start making this stuff. And then I would tell people that I wanted to do it, and they send me off. This is a big lesson in this. 90% of the people during the time that I told I wanted to make these kind of sounds of this music was I don't know, bro, you should stick to rapping, fam. I don't know, man, you should da-da-da-da. Nobody ever said, no, it's whack. But they would be like, I don't know, bro, you should try something else. Oh, you don't know how to make beats. You're not a producer, bro. You're not this. You're not that. And I just would be like, ah!
Did you write about that in the song too?
Yeah. Right. I was just I hate that, anybody will deter you from doing anything. Shut up, bro.
Right.
If they want to try it, shut your mouth.
Right.
And let them try it. Otherwise, help them, right? So I was I would tell people they send me off, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to reach out to nobody. I'm about to find somebody who know how to make beats that will shut his mouth and just let me and do what I tell them to do. Because I could compose, but I didn't know that was the terminology at the time. I had all the music, I just didn't know how to physically do it.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, and then the funny thing is my brother LaFonz, he was the guy that, he would like always send me random beats. He would like, you know, just on like MySpace, Facebook, whatever. And he would send me like a rock beat. He would send me like a hip hop beat. So I was like, okay, this dude's diverse enough and he cool. And I called him, I said, bro, I'm coming back from New York. When I get back, come over my crib, we're gonna make this project. Just listen to what I gotta say and don't tell me what to do, and we're gonna be popping. I promise you. He's like, all right. So he came over to the crib, and the first thing I wanted to do was I love Amy Winehouse. I love Amy Winehouse, bro. And I was a huge fan, and I met her at Lollapalooza. Actually, we played the same year, and our sections were.
Okay.
I don't know if we played the same year. I don't remember. But I had like a little booth backstage area, and she did too, and they was right next to each other. And she was cool as ice, bro. She was so cool. Yeah, she looked a little hurt. You could tell it was about to be maybe a rap, but you know, she was super cool, and it made me sad, bro. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to like. I was always inspired by her realness. Yeah. So I love the Back to Black song, right? That was one of my favorites.
Did that cover.
Yeah. So I wanted to do the cover, but I always felt like it needed some guitar in it, right? So I was like, all right, we're gonna do a cover of Amy Winehouse Back to Black. So I just boom, 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 boom.
You made that?
Yeah, I made that beat. Yeah, I made the beat and I covered it. I like did the vocals and all that.
You had said that was like the first song that you had ever composed.
That was the first beat I ever made. Because I was like, all right, bro. He held the guitar. I was like, all right, this note, this note, this note, and this note. I literally was like, no, do it like this. And don't get me wrong. Over time, me and LaFonz developed our own like way to work, and he has just as much input in the music as I do now. But initially, it was like, just let me get these ideas out, or I'm gonna kill you, bro. Yeah. So we made the Amy Winehouse joint, and then I made a couple other joints, and I was just so hyped. That was the first time I really felt like, yo, this now I feel like me. Like the things that was out here, I'm listening to them now. So I was so hyped, and I just thought that beat was so raw, bro.
You made that in like 08, no?
Damn, I made that in like super back in the day, right? So fast forward, I'm really good friends with the brothers from the band Good Charlotte, right?
Oh yeah,
like
Benji and
Benji and Joe Madden and Josh Madden, like these, and not even off no, like I was never a Good Charlotte fan. I never like. That was, you know, that just wasn't my thing. I'm from the South Side. I was listening to Pac and Twister. Like, I wasn't listening to that. Like, that just wasn't my style. But I ended up randomly meeting them through my homie. And they was just so honest and legit. And you know how Chicago is. If you legit, we don't care what you into. Like, you can't help it. I'm like, bro, it's too real. So I liked them. They were good guys. They were honest to this day. Super close friends of mine, right? So they just happened to be like fast forward like I made the Amy Winehouse joint like 08. So like this is like 2000 and when did Watch the Throne come out?
11, I think, 10.
Yeah, around there.
So then this had to be like 09 or something, right? So I'm sitting on these joints that, you know, I'm formulating what I wanted to do with them. I happen to be in New York, so I link up with Benji and Joel, and we like, you know, just go grab a drink or whatever. We at some little bar. I'm thinking it's just like some whatever little bar, right? But turns out, when you get to a certain level of success, nothing really changes except for the general public aspect of it, right? They still got little bars and clubs. They still go to McDonald's, things like that. It's just like when they do go out, it might be they homies that own it, so it's only these kind of people in the spot. But when you go in, you just feel like you're at a bar, and then there's nobody's like, oh, there's none of that, right? So I'm chilling in a bar with the homies. I'm thinking we literally at some regular bar. Ye walks in, and I'm like, oh, yo, what's good? So we just, you know, chop it up, say what's up, and we just started talking a little bit. This is 2 years before Watch the Throne came out. He's like, yo, I'm finna go to the studio. You wanna roll? I'm like, yes, bro. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Go to the studio. We sit down. And I never, ever, ever play myself. Never. I'm not the guy I've never been the guy that's like, yo, can we take a picture? It's never been me. Because I'm like, if you're supposed to be there, you don't need to do that. If you're not supposed to be there, you want to get some sort of evidence just in case it never happens again. Right. You feel me? So I was like, I would just be chilling. I'm chilling in there, like I'm not doing nothing. I'm being cool, right? I'm hyped, obviously. But it's me, Benz, Joe, Josh, and Ye and them. And so Ye played us Watch the Throne 2 years before it come out, and he played me niggas in Paris. Oh, N-words in Paris. Sorry, I've been doing good, bro. I haven't said a cuss word in a long time, bro. I haven't said one cuss word. Trust me, bro. It's like every other word. So he plays me N-words in Paris. And obviously, imagine hearing that 2 years before it come out, bro. I'm like, this is a hit. This is the coldest thing, right? So I was just gassed up, like, you snapping. I mean, people from Chicago, you know how it is. We just get gassed up. Right. So he got gassed up. We was just like, this is so raw. And then the homies played him their new record and whatnot. And I was just like, I was waiting for the golden words. And then finally he was like, what you been working on? And I was like, actually.
I'm glad he said it.
Right. Yeah, because I'm not finna be that dude. Like, you got it.
Right.
If I gotta be asked, because I'm not finna play myself. Right? So I was like, actually, I've been working on this other project where I'm singing and producing and whatnot, right? So I played the Amy Winehouse joint, and he just went nuts. He was like, oh my God, this is so fire. And I was like, oh God, it's happening. What's happening? Yeah, because I'm not going to act like I was too cool, bro. I was crazy excited, bro. This is Kanye West, bro.
Kanye West, right.
So he's just going. He made me play it like 10 times in a row, and I was like, oh God, bro. At this time, I'm like, bro, I'll give you the beat, whatever. I don't care. I just want to be able to say I made it, right? So he played, and he's like, man, this is dope. And then this was the coldest part. One of the 10 times we're playing it, we just vibing to it. He just do, he's like just thinking, and I'm just sitting there like, and Rihanna walks in to the studio.
Yeah, he had everybody in
there. Bro, I was on 10, bro. So Rihanna walks into the studio. She got red hair. She walk in. She just command the room. But she walk in. As soon as she walk in, she's like, yo, what is this? This is fire. I was like, yes, Rihanna. Yes, you are definitely backing me up right now. I was like, and then he was like, oh, you man. She was like, oh, man, this is dope. I was like, oh, that's me. And so he played it, and then he said it was dope, and I was like, bang, lit. I was like, all right. So to me, that locked me in on a mission. I was like, all right, I'm about to just bust moves out here, because like I gotta create noise, right? So I was like, we left the studio, and I definitely tried to chill, and he curved me. I was like, everybody was about to leave, and I was like, all right, y'all, and he walked right up to me like, all right, bro, good to see you. I was like, all right, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave. Like, I was definitely trying to hang back, but after I dipped, so Virgil is a very close friend of mine. Like, Virgil is actually one of the main keys to my success. GLC, Virgil, and Don C, all of them, they were always, that's why you see me on my social media, like, I'm always bigging up all of the homies, not just, like, anything about Ye. Like, Don and everybody who's moving the culture right now was moving the culture behind the scenes for the longest time, and they was really championing me and really put me in my position. So, like, I would be like, man, I'm gonna make another song, and I'll send it to Virgil, like, yo, you think he'll rock it? And he'll send it to Ye. And I'll be like, every time I would do something, Virgil would be like, Ye, look at dude is going crazy. And so we'd be sitting in the back of RSVP just coming up with ideas and things like that. And I shot my own videos, and I just had everything ready to go.
Yeah. And
I jumped out of a 3-story window for my album cover. You know what I mean? I was like, nobody's going to step to my skills. So Virgil sent it to him. Don sent it to him. And then finally, because I would call Don all the time, like, what should I do? Like, he was the person that, he was like the guy that I would always get advice from, right? And Don would always give me fire advice, and I would always follow it, and that's why I'm successful, right? So Don finally hit me like, yo, Ye want to sign you. I was like, yes, bro, let's go. Like, what's good? And then Ye flew me to Paris for his first fashion show, and then all the Watch the Throne tour, like, I got to go. It was super dope. He was like really like gassing me, and I'm like, yes, bro, I'm with it. Because I was like, I got out of a deal that was trash. I was like, I'm not signing to nothing that's not the homies or that's not like a super good look. Because I didn't even really want to sign a deal. I kind of wanted to just make it crack on my own, because I kind of already knew the demo would sign it. But I'm like, good music, bro. I'm definitely finna be on good music. Yeah. What you mean? Like, just the name alone, like, solidifies that you're a real artist. Not, you know what I mean? It's not even about clout. It's like, anybody that came on good music was raw. There was nobody whack on Good Music ever. You feel me? So I was like, yes, I'm definitely gonna sign in Good Music. These are the homies. And Ye took care of me. Like, Ye bought the song from me for the Amy Winehouse joint, right? And then I heard that it was supposed to be on Cruel Winter or Summer or whatever. Yeah. And then I heard, you know, him and Jay was in the studio. I just kept hearing these things, but I wasn't getting no information. And I'm just sitting there waiting. And I was starting to be like, yo, I'm about to start putting music out, bro. Like, I'm still haven't put no music out in like 5 years. So I got to get going over here. And then they was like, chill. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm going to chill. So then me and Mano was in LA. We was at some hotel pool chilling. And Mano gets a little thing from Billboard on it. They're like, oh, Beyonce and Andre 3000 to cover Amy Winehouse Back to Black. And I was like, JC, that's got to be me. I was like, so I emailed, I said, yo, is that Amy Winehouse? Is that me? He was like, oh yeah, my bad, bro. I forgot to send you the link. So he sends me a link, and it wasn't a link to the song. It was a link to the trailer of the Great Gatsby movie. That's how I found out. And my song was in the trailer with Andre 3000, Beyonce, and I was like, ah! Obviously, I went nuts.
So how does that work? How does that? I'm sorry. How does that work? If he had bought the song from you, do you still get credits on that?
Yeah. So I mean, it really just depends. I mean, with that kind of stuff, you kind of make the deal you want to make. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if some kid that's got some kid with 50 followers makes a fire beat, sends it to me, and I copy it from him. Like, majority of the time, what you really gonna get is just the recognition and things like that, and then I give you some bread for your beat. You can buy it all the way out, or you can split it with the person publishing wise, or you can give them some points, things like that. So Jay didn't just buy it from me. He bought it from me and gave me points on the record and put it in the biggest movie of the year and put Andre 3000 and Beyonce on my first beat I ever made. So I was like, I love this dude, right? So I'm like, I'm definitely signing all the way up. Let's go. I don't care, right? So I'm super hyped. I'm like, I can't wait to get in the studio with bro or just talk, just come with ideas, because he was killing it at the time. He had just made Yeezus, which is totally my style. I'm like, yo, what's good? So I'm like, yeah, hell, signed up on a dotted line, I'm lit. Go out to LA, I'm like, what's good? Nothing. After I signed, I never saw him again. And I was like, yo, this is whack. But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh, he did me bogus or nothing like that. You know, all this stuff just changed right after I signed. Def Jam and Island split, and then Good Music was over here, now that was gonna go over there, and then like we was picking up artists, and then he signed Tyga, and then he didn't sign them, and then like it was just all of this stuff happened, and I got kind of lost in the wash, and I was pressed because I wasn't like, oh, they're doing me bogus or nothing like that, but it was like, dang, bro, like I was really excited about this. I didn't care about like the cloud of it. I thought Kanye was the most creative genius artist of our time, and I was going to be able to work with him, and I feel like I'm that creative of a genius that whatever we was going to make was going to be out of this world. Because I can definitely say I'm pretty creative, bro. Like there's no like getting around it. Like you look at any of my stuff, I creative direct all of my stuff with my bro Kobe and Chelsea, and like we make, like there's no team coming up with ideas for me. My album covers, my artwork, my videos, all of that is from my brain. All of the sounds are from my brain. So nobody can tell me I'm not crazy creative. If I had millions of dollars behind my creativity, bro, imagine, right? So I'm thinking, me and Ye, it's a wrap, bro. I'm about to make the coldest thing ever. I had so many samples and creative ideas that I wanted to pass to him and go back and forth. Not saying he needed it, but that just would have been great. I felt like that would have been amazing for me and amazing for the culture and amazing for him. And then so when it didn't happen, I was like, dang, man, I'm out here dolo. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess I gotta just keep making it the way I'm making it. I guess I gotta just keep making moves on my own. You know what I mean? I didn't skip a beat and go, man, they not rocking with me, so I'ma just. It's easy to. Most people who don't succeed in their, their goals and their drive and their passion is not because they're making up excuses. It's because they had a good reason and let that good reason make them fall, right? You could easily say, oh, well, I was signed to them and then they didn't do nothing, so that's why my career. And then people are like, oh man, I feel that.
And that happens to a lot.
And it happens to a lot, but it's like,
Or
but
like
you let that be the thing that ended you. You crazy. I've been in terrible positions constantly where I signed thinking it's gonna be this and then it's not that. Not saying yay, like I signed to a different label, got stuck for 5 years. I did this project and then somebody stole my whole look and sound and ran with it. All of these things have all happened to me, and I could have used every single one of those things as an excuse to stop. And I just kept being like, but I'm a very angry person. I'm very angry. But I learned how to control my anger into, instead of yelling and bugging out on people, proving them wrong.
I think you use that anger in a good way.
Yeah.
And it's heard on the project, man. Like
Yeah.
it's very, man. The first time I heard it, and it goes, it's even more. I feel like it's even more creative than your self-titled album, man. Because it's like you can hear the pain and emotion that you've held for a long time inside, And as a man, you know what I'm saying, when you learn how to do that instead of putting it out as energy on people. Like keeping it inside and putting out in music, and you can hear it in the guitar riffs and the piano riffs and the notes, right? And even you hitting the notes on it, bro. Like it's definitely heard on there, and it's definitely felt. So
well, that's the other thing, like, because I would get situations where people would like try to critique my beats, or they try to critique my vocals and things like that. And I'd be like, oh yeah? People. I'd be like, watch this! I'm gonna be the best singer in the world. Oh, I can't sing? Watch me hit this note. Oh, I can't make beats? Check this out. Like, every time you tell me something, I'm like, I'm not just gonna do it. I'm gonna prove you completely wrong and destroy you with it. I'm gonna make you look crazy for saying it. That's my whole mentality.
But some people that critique aren't even like wants to critique either, though.
Fam.
Like, it'll be like people that aren't even in music, bro.
Yes. Look, this is my favorite thing. This is what I be telling people all the time. Don't listen to nobody that's not successful in the position that they talking about. I used to hear all the time, oh man, the industry full of snakes. How you know, bro? How do you know they full of snakes? You work at Walgreens. You work here with me. You not in the industry, you at work. So how do you know? You don't know. Because I got into the industry and I realized it's not full of snakes. It's full of hustlers who work hard. They get their way where they need to get. And everybody's legit. You just got to be on point. And there's no time for emotional crybaby stuff. Yeah. And that's what it is. So people, the biggest thing in the world that people do is they don't want to tell themselves that they're the reason they messed up. So they need an excuse. Oh, it's not because I didn't work hard enough. It's because the industry full of snakes.
Oh, it's not because on Twitter too.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of that lately.
Miss me with that. That don't get you nothing. I never once came out. Don't get me wrong, fam. I've had a lot of different emotions at a lot of different times going through this process where I was angry. I felt alone. I felt like, they was purposely doing things. But then I would sit back and I would watch everybody else bug out. And I'm like, he not even doing it to you on purpose. So maybe he not doing it to me on purpose.
Can't take anything personal.
We can't take nothing personal. You just got to understand. It's like, these people don't have to deal with you.
Right.
They choose to deal with you if you don't, if you have something to offer, if you have something to bring to the world. But if you start tripping, it's like, they don't have to call you down. No, man, you got to call me. They don't got to do nothing. They can go swimming in one of their 6 pools, bro. You know what I mean? Because they working on themselves. I'm working on myself. I get people all the time. Like, I'll have some kid DM me a joint, and I literally, if you send me music, I'll listen to it. Because I know what it's like to get ignored. So I now do everything nobody did for me. If I got a way to get you up because I think you dope, I'm gonna do that.
If a kid wants to send you a beat or something? What's the best way to reach you?
Man, this is the new world, bro.
Yeah.
You know exactly how. We have 6 different ways to communicate all the time. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. DMs, WhatsApp, all of that, bro. Like, it's not hard. I can DM Young Thug right now and he might respond because that's his Instagram. It's verified. I know it's him. You know what I mean? So it's like, if a kid sends me a joint, I'm never gonna act like I got some team working on my Instagram. Nobody has that, bro. Except for like, Ariana Grande or somebody who's got like, a lot of money. Or Kim K, she got money behind her gram and stuff like that. So that's different. But like the average artist, that's his joint. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I'd be like, if somebody DMs me, and I get DMs all day. But sometimes I'll be in New York for a whole week during Fashion Week. Not checking.
I'm surprised you responded to me low key.
Well, no, because
bro, that's how this happened.
Yeah,
this happened because I DM'd him.
Yeah,
like,
he hit me on the DM.
I'm like, yo, I just heard that project. He's like, yo, thanks. I'm like, wait, hold up.
Yeah,
that was quick.
Well, my thing is this: you appreciate my art,
right?
So that means you understand me. Mm-hmm. What, I'm supposed to front on you? You the person that's driving my whole career. That's stupid. I'm not saying I'm gonna come to your son's birthday party, but you know what I'm saying? No, because people get crazy with it, fam. People will DM me and I'll respond to them, and then they'll get to going on a whole tangent, and I gotta leave them on red. But I'm like, if you do it in a tasteful way, if you just hit me and be like, yo, I'm rocking with you, bro, I'll be like, thank you. Because I appreciate it. You the person I made it for, bro. Like, I want to make these songs and people tell me they like them. That you like something that I made, bro. That means you understand me. So I love you. Thank you. You pushing me. Like, I'm not finna be arrogant. How you gonna front on somebody showing you love? Right. If anything, that make me mad, and I'll probably beat up the person that's fronting on the kid. Like, if I'm backstage and you a big fan of some artist and he front on you, I might get mad enough to slap bro. Like, oh, you gonna embarrass him? No, I'm gonna embarrass you. Since you think you too cool. You don't deserve this, so I'm gonna slap you up and get you real popping on the internet. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you gotta appreciate the people to an extent for riding for you. All that matters to me is the people that come to my shows. This industry showed me one thing. All this fame and clout stuff is fun and enjoyable. It's awesome. It's awesome to go sit front row at Fashion Week. It's awesome to go sit backstage at any show I want. That, I'm not going to excuse the fact that it's amazing. But what matters is the people at my show, the people buying my albums, the people that are coming and supporting me. I'm not finna blow off my fans to go try to meet some other artist thinking that he's gonna do something for me. That's not finna happen. That's not how this works. Even Ye, even all these people, even getting the stamps that I got, I have to work. Yeah. And what I'm working towards is y'all loving my music so much that you spread it to the whole world. I feel like I got hits for days. I just need more people to hear them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. So that's what my focus is. And you don't get big by dissing or ignoring your fans. That's crazy. Right, you feel me?
No, that's true. So what's next for Hope, man?
More albums, bro.
Yeah. Do you have like a timeline for that? Or what are you trying to... Oh, what's up?
I promise you, the worst thing I ever did in my life was not put out music for such a long time. That was like the worst thing. Any artist, any artist, what makes people successful and huge artists in the world has nothing to do with clout, has nothing to do with like connections, has nothing to do with none of that. It's literally keeping your momentum. That's it. All the artists you see that are like super crazy big, like Sean and all of them, when they got the buzz, they continued their momentum. They never stopped. They kept putting out projects and those kept growing. So none of those fans from the initial aspect fell off, right? If I had Instagram back in like 2008, I'd be probably like 150,000 followers all day because I was touring like crazy. I had shows a day. Boom, I was popping. But I then got stuck for 5 years and didn't put out no music. So all those fans, they left. And then I did this project and then wasn't able to put music out for 2 years. So then those fans kind of like, went by the wayside. So it's like, you got to continue your momentum. And that's literally the key to success. Keep your momentum going. And so right now, I already expected this second album to do well, but not be top of the charts because I haven't put out music for 2 years. So I'm like, my second or third album after this is when it's gonna be super crazy. So I'm getting right to it, bro. I'm under the Future Young Thug. I'm like, I'm dropping albums for days because I got my own sound. Nobody sound like me. more people just need to hear it.
When can we expect the next one?
Bro,
this one's really been like a month.
we halfway through Original Crazy, bro. I'm about to go to LA and lock in for like 2 weeks. I don't have that problem where I need a long time and I need like, you know, cayenne pepper and tea and go up to Big Bear to write an album. Yeah. Nah, bro. I got a piano in my crib and I'll be like, I'll be going nuts. Yeah. So I can crank out albums for days. I'm doing projects on projects. I'm doing a EP with Mano. I'm doing try to do an EP. Me and Seasick gonna do an EP. Nice. I'm going crazy, fam. You guys are gonna be like, bro, just put out 600. I'm putting out a Christmas EP.
Nice. I'm gonna look out for that for sure.
Yo, fam, I made a full-blown Christmas hit song, bro. I'm coming after that Mariah Carey money, bro. Trust me, it's a slapper, bro. And I know, like, it's a full-blown hit, bro. Yeah. Trust me. I think this might be the thing that make me like Ice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's weird because with the music industry, you get to a certain level of fame where you become kind of in limbo, right? And then you just need like one thing to hit you over. Like my hard work and dedication got me to this point where I can like properly say I'm a bit of a celebrity in a sense, where I like, you know, I pay my bills and, you know, take care of my family with my music, but you'll have like a you know, couple like David Bowie had like 5 albums out before he blew up super big, and his first hit was actually China Girl. Like that wasn't even like his like most craziest song, but that's what got him top of the charts #1, and it's because Nile Rodgers. Like that is there is a real aspect to like people backing you up, right? Now obviously if Ye hit me and I hang out with him for a week and people see us together and things like that, or we do a song together, that will catapult me. Or any other artist and things like that. But until that happens, I'm working like, and until somebody pulls me out of the water, fam, I'm swimming like crazy. And I ain't never finna drown. I'm just, I got all the stamina in the world, bro. I'm gonna put out 1,000,000 songs. I don't care if I'm 65 and it hit, I'm putting out songs forever. And ain't nobody stopping me. You feel me? Right. Now if something comes along and LeBron plays one of my songs on his things and I go up, lit. Until then, pull up to the show. You feel me? Because I'm not stopping. Like,
that's what's up, man. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give out, bro?
Man, I do. But that's like 6 million people. I'll say this. Shout out to my cousin Mano. Because Mano was and is completely objectively my biggest supporter. He just really loved my music. He always pushed me. He is also one of the people that helped me get signed. You know what I mean? Like, so shout out to Mano, because I feel like, you know, Mano has won a accolade that most extremely famous artists in the world don't have. He just went diamond off of a song, right? He just went diamond off of his song The Hills for the Weekend. There's who in Chicago got a diamond song besides like Quincy Jones, bro? Right. Yeah. You feel me? And how do we have this prolific producer who has one of the biggest hits in the world not being championed in Chicago? Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like, we have our staple artists in Chicago that get the Chicago love. All praises due, all respect due, and they deserve it. Mm-hmm. But there's some other artists in Chicago that it's kind of like they don't feel like showing love to or something. It's like everybody runs to the main ones, but there's a whole bunch of artists. There's a bunch of artists who are like super huge. Like I was just in New York at Fashion Week, and the biggest fashion show there was the Pierre Moss show, right? Oh, yeah. It was insanity, right? And he hooked me up, bro. He sat me next to Biggs and St. John and all the big homies. I was lit, right? But in there was a ton of Chicago artists who were massively popping. And in New York, they getting all this love. In LA, they getting all this love. And in Chicago, it's quiet. Yeah. They not on the radio. They not on this. They not on that. You know what I'm saying? There's only a few people. Like, the only people who played my music on the radio for real was, the first one was, rest in peace, Timbuktu, Mustafa Rocks, and who else? I'm tweaking. Jamal Smalls.
Yep.
Jamal Smalls actually was the first one to give me a full-length interview. You know what I mean? So, like, I get love and whatnot, but as a whole system, there's a lot of artists in Chicago that I feel like ain't getting, like, the proper Chicago love. And it's all good. That doesn't mean that there's beef or, like, the problem with the system or that these artists ain't going to be successful. It's just, don't ask them why they left when they do. You know what I mean? Because I moved to LA because I'm getting 5-10 G's a show elsewhere, and in Chicago they like, hey bro, we only got a small budget of $300, but we can get you a bottle. I'm like, bro, would you say that? Would you say that to this person? No. So why you gonna say that to me? Because that's what you think I'm worth. And then so I was like, that's how I felt. I was like, I guess I'm too tangible or something. You know, and it's all mental. It's all like silly stuff at the end of the day. Like at the end of the day, it's like work on your craft, take care of your family, do your thing. But, you know, I just feel like there's some things that could work, but that's my opinion. Like everybody else got one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just appreciate any of this. I appreciate anybody wanting to shed any kind of light on me, regardless of my success. I appreciate it. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, of course. No problem, man.
You have anything?
Yo, what up, y'all? I came really, really late, but it's your boy DJ Sound. I'm in the building for one last time. Man.
In the building!
I'm finna miss this.
It's your boy!
I'm finna miss this. Breaking Caesars, you know what I'm saying? Just talking trash and stuff. I just wanted to get on the line and say what's good with y'all, man. Yeah, man, it's about everything you're spitting is straight knowledge and facts. Everything is mental. And a lot of y'all are too self-centered, I guess.
Dude, yo, I love you, bro. I love that you said that. I love that you said that.
We've been working with artists for like a long time, especially him, so he knows know a lot.
But that's the thing. Almost everybody is self-centered, right? We all are at a certain extent. We definitely will curve some things and not curve some things, right? I understand that, but the biggest aspect is to the self-centeredness is that's to me what kills everybody's career because everybody thinks everything is about them.
Right, that's what
somebody will put out a song or somebody will put on a look or whatever and you think he bit my style. It's like, who you think you are, bro? Like, relax.
Yeah.
You got like, bro is here, like, you know, I got a little bit of shell shock, right? Shout out to Virgil, right? So Virgil, creative director of Louis Vuitton, has the greatest clothing line on earth, Off-White, and DJing, collaborations on collaborations, IKEA, candle companies, everything, right?
Yeah.
Dude, craziest stuff ever, right? And like, I personally know this man. He's literally that genius. Like, I remember like a long time ago, just to give you an idea how his mind works, I ran into him in New York. Like, this is like way back before. This is when he was just walking around the street, nobody even checking for him, right? And he was still working for Ye, but he was just like creative directing and things like that. And so we go to Soho House in New York. We sit down, we having lunch, and I was just kind of telling him what my plans were, and he was like, he was always hashing out ideas with me. But while he's doing that, he's making a mood board on his computer, and he's drawing a sketch, both hands. and fully in contact and fully like totally immersed in our conversation, and like I was like, I never seen somebody be able to focus on literally 3 or 4 things at the same time and be intently listening, right? So I was like, this dude is literally like an anomaly, right? So it was destined that he was gonna have this kind of success. He was another person, like all people just needed to do was see who he was, right? So I'm basking in his success. I love it. I'm so proud to be able to say that that's my friend, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, he has his fashion shows in Paris. I'm like, I'm going to Paris to go to my man. Yo, somebody from Chicago, from this, you know, from our life, Black, is the creative director of one of the oldest clothing lines on earth.
That should be celebrated.
That should be over celebrated. There should be blimps in the air for bro, right? So I'm like, I'm going, right? So we go, and you know, Chicago just killed Paris Fashion Week, bro. We mobbing everywhere. We going to any party, and they was rocking with us, cause dude, everybody in fashion is from the crib, like Jerry Lorenzo, Laylee, Don C, everybody, and like so in Paris, they like full royalty, bro. I love seeing the cameras come out. I know when one of the homies is pulling up, right? So we had a boat party for the Louis Vuitton had a like Virgil has his like sound stuff that he does too. So him and Benji B and all these guys, they have this boat party that was like the after party of the fashion show. And when I say nobody on this boat wasn't important, bro, it was like a 4-story boat. Everybody on there was cracking only, bro. Like there was no like nobody
No
of any
names
nobody, right? Nobody. And I'm telling you this for a reason, not to stunt. Like, dude, like Radiohead was in there, like Jeezy was there. Everybody was. I mean, but you couldn't walk without bumping into somebody that had over millions of followers, right, or something like that. I'm just trying to set the stage for you. So I'm in the DJ booth with him. He's DJing. It's me and Cuddy. He's DJing, and it's just like a massive amount of people in this like the booth was literally like this size, and there was like 50 people back here. It was squirming, right? And I'm looking, and I'm just cause there was a couple times like I would hit him. I'm like, man, he ain't hit me back. I'm like, well, dude, busy, but I didn't understand the grasp of it, right? I'm looking, and there's guys that have whole security details in here, right? Trying to touch him, like literally, like finna, like no, but not, I'm not exaggerating. They looking like they finna pass out, bro. They literally like acting like, bro, it's God. Like these people that we look to as like the biggest stars in the world, that's how they looking at him, because he's past fame. Right. He is moving the culture forward. So like princes and like people that like make the world go around in the biggest way possible. Like, well, you'll be executed if you talk to them type. They had Virgil like, oh my God. Like, bro, and it was like, I was like, man, I'm dealing with something that I can't even fathom for bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro. He just like, I can't wait to sit in the airport, bro. He's got to put out so much stuff. And that's what I mean. It's like these people, so I could easily be self-centered and be like, oh, bro, you ain't hit me back. Oh, you don't care about me. Yeah. It's like, these people ain't sitting around looking at your text message and being like, nah. Like, that's not happening, bro. They doing stuff. Yeah. Like, all week in New York, right? I'll post my picture and like a couple of homies that was at the thing, like kind of keep the interaction going. Keep the interaction going, and then boom, at another show, I'm at an after party, or I'm hungover, whatever, right? So usually I don't really tap in back to my stuff till it's all said and done. Yeah. And then I'll get somebody be like, oh, you can't respond to my thing, but you can post a picture on Instagram. I'm like,
bro, that's quick. That's 1, 2, 3, boom. All right, and now I'm back to doing.
And my thing is like, here's the real lesson though. I could have easily been like, bro, what are you talking about? I was doing this all week and da 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 da. I was like, or I could just not respond to you because I don't have to deal with you. It's like so now I'm gonna leave you on red forever because you showing me you too emotional to even deal with a friendship with me. What? Well, now I'm gonna hit you back, and then the next time I don't hit you back, you're gonna do the same thing. Mm-hmm. What's in it for me to continue this? That, yeah. Right? And that's what I mean. Nobody got to deal with these people. No one owes anybody anything. Nobody owe you nothing. And nobody got to deal with your little informational problems. I don't have to. I'll be like, somebody be DMing me, be super cool, and he'll say something stupid, or he'll tell me something dumb, and then I just don't respond. There you go. And I never have to again. Yeah. You know what I mean? But there's a flip of that, because there's been people in my career that have done me bogus too, right? Mm-hmm. Now I don't get them no play or nothing like that, but some of these people are a lot more famouser than me, but they think. A lot of times you'll do somebody bogus and you'll be fine with it because you think you'll never see them again. Yeah. But that ain't always the case. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you still got to be prepared for that interaction, which I always am. But there's been a lot of times where it's like somebody in front on me and do something bogus, and then I'm friends with somebody like this, and I'm at their house for dinner, and you're invited, and I'm like, oh, him, nah. And they're like, he's like, oh man, bro, I was gonna hit you back, but I was like, integrity lasts way longer than any kind of success or fame. Right. And my integrity is ice, bro. Like, I can walk into any room. Once you get past that fame aspect of people like, being popping or whatever, once you're in the back room and all of the normal people are out of the way, now it's like, who's the most respectable dude in the room. And that's why everybody loved Nip. That's why everybody loved Nipsey so much. Because at the end of the day, Nip would be doing the exact same thing I'm doing. Nip would be in a room with murderers, in a room with evangelicals, be in a room with all famous people, and everybody is showing him the same respect because he commanded respect, and he only commanded the respect that he gave. And that's what I mean. Like, and guys like that, I feel like I'm like that. Let me be clear, I am not comparing myself to Nipsey Hussle, whatever. He, to me, was like one of our biggest prophets on earth, and we lost him, and I feel like we're going to celebrate him like Jesus was, bro. I really do. He even looked like it, bro. I'm going to get a Nipsey charm, you know, because he looked like Moses, bro. But I feel like, you know, there's a lot of people in the industry and a lot of people that get affluence and success that just had good songs, but they might be weak or lame or whack or whatever. And then there's guys like Nip who we need to get behind, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like my respect level and my credibility is of that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like anybody in that lane, that's I gravitate to. That's why I love him so much. So RP Nip.
Thanks. Any other shout outs that you have?
Now I'm good, bro. I kept y'all going too long.
59 minutes to be exact, but it's all
lit.
good.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. My bad, bro.
Sorry. I appreciate it.
Sorry for the interview.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. Any other shout outs, last minute things that you want to push out, bro, for the people?
Please go listen to my album Bloom from Doom. It's on all streaming platforms. Shout out to Orchard, my distribution company. Shout out to the city of Chicago for always supporting me and showing me love. Go listen to my music, please, and pass it around so we can get cracking.
Let's get it. UIC Radio Thumper Thursdays. It's been a blessing keeping this going for 6 years. Sound, you got anything on that?
It's been fun, man. Just like right now, like literally this interview. Like the insight and everything that's been spit just from people that have been through certain things in the industry that we might not have or heard of and stuff. Just that whole insight and information is definitely something that I'm gonna miss because you get to hear about the grind from artists that have actually been out there and done this.
Not even just artists, bro. Not even just artists, bro. We had Freeway Rick Ross and
Freeway Rick Ross.
Their management hit us up.
Yeah.
They hit us up to come here, and I was like, I don't know if this is real or not, but I'm down to give it a shot.
Well, tell them,
Well, you know what's funny about that? That's another thing. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. There's another aspect to this where people feel like that we are like untangible, so people don't even think to like hit us, and it's like so many people just assume I'm like doing this crazy stuff, but I'll be at the crib like, damn, I would have went. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish they would have told me.
What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Yeah, like you really, dude. Honestly, like, what's the worst thing that can happen is they'll be like, "Oh, we busy," or something. You know what I mean? But like, a lot of times these artists want to do things like these. These artists got a lot to say. Like, I've seen a lot of people been like, "Man, how come you ain't do no press?" Man, like, nobody asked me, bro. I wanted to do press. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like it's dope.
Most definitely.
Yeah, man.
We've had some people in here, man. Big shout outs to everybody that has came through. And like I said, I had put up a Facebook post yesterday. But big shout out to everybody because people are so busy. And just the fact that some people actually do look at us like, oh, it's just a little college station. Or, oh, it's just
everything is a platform.
It's really, you know, everything is a platform. And that's what we tried to create over these past 6 years is an actual platform for you to be able to speak to the kids in the college and the people around the world. We've won certain awards, you know what I'm saying, for best show and stuff like that. So we did what we had to do and get it to the point where we wanted it to be, you know. It became a platform and just the fact that
every time
artists actually took their time.
Mute button on your joint,
They don't know how to do it.
Yo, are you guys gonna do anything after this? Are you gonna start a different show, a podcast or something?
Yeah, so I'm working out of a radio station right now out of Florida. I've been doing that for almost for about 6 months now. Okay. And so we're trying to work on a little podcast for the crew. So this is Los Desvelados. This is a crew that's originated by him, Original Cool, us three, Nico, Light, and a few of the other guys. So
I recommend one thing: film it.
Oh yeah,
film
especially
it
with the podcast.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
film it.
Nowadays it's definitely double-sided.
And reach out to people. You'll be surprised at who will hit you back and be down.
And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people are so busy. Like just the fact that they actually made the time there in the middle of the week or towards the end of the week, whatever. Yeah. Weekday to come up here and actually give us that 30-minute.
But you know what? Also, it's the initial thing that you do. Like it was like when he hit me, he just said, "Man, I like your music." I was like, "Oh, thanks, bro." And he was like, "Yo, you want to come do it?" I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I will do it. Why not?" You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you might not even they might not even be thinking about it until you put it out in the universe, and then they're like, "Yeah." You know what I mean? Yo, every celebrity got an off day, bro. Trust that. They be at McDonald's, they be playing, they be watching Netflix, they be chilling.
Yeah,
Trust me, like it ain't all crazy all the time, bro. Like,
True. Shout out to Boy Genius, man. Boy Genius actually been very, very, very important to the show.
that's the homie. He DJ'd my wedding.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
He came here in 2014 and he was just stopping by every 6 months, like DJ set, dropping 2 hours of knowledge on us every single time. So it's been huge.
Hey, you guys gotta do this.
Shout out Gatman. Gatman was awesome.
That's my
too.
guy. Yeah.
Oh, huge, bro. He was one of the first guests to ever pop in here too and say what's up to everybody.
Man,
So,
bro. Yes,
Uh,
that's my dog.
man, bro. Taylor Bennett dropped some gems in here.
Most of the
King
same
Louis.
crew.
Sterling
King
Hayes.
Louis. He was the first feature. King Louis was the first feature I had on the Whole project.
Nice.
Yeah, he did a remix to the joint I did with Mano.
Crucial Conflict.
Crucial Conflict was here.
Yo, we had too many people to name, bro.
There's
Shout
so
out to
many
everybody.
people, man. Like, seriously. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for making that time and coming through and really helping us out and making this the platform that we wanted it to be.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
this was one of the most fire interviews I ever had. So
Appreciate that, man.
No, for real.
For real.
that's a thing though. I've had some pretty garbage ones, bro. So like it's actually a thing. Like
Some people come pretty unprepared.
It's
I've
terrible.
seen major artists, like, you ever seen the outtakes on certain people? They'd be like, dude, do your research, bro.
Oh,
I don't even have kids. Or like, you know, something.
or they'll like ask you something trying to be like smart or trying to
Yeah,
be funny, and it's
yeah.
like, bro, I can walk away right now.
Do, hey, who did
There's
that?
no bag keeping me here
Birdman?
right now.
He's like, yeah, I'm out of here.
He's like, I'm
Yeah.
outta here.
I did that. I was on tour with Girl Talk back in the day, and I was in Miami, and some kid like I tried to be nice. He was a kid. He was like just trying to do it, but he wasn't asking me no questions. He was just talking, and I was like, hey, he gotta go, bro.
Hey, we're on to the
It's a
next
wrap.
one.
Yeah, like
Was he talking about, like,
he was just
stuff that you
talking,
done?
bro. He was
Or-
just like, man, yeah, you know, so Florida's crazy, and I was like, fam,
It's not in
this is not an interview, bro. Like, you got a question for me, or you just want to sit over here and like. I think he was on that white because he was just talking. Yeah, go, bro. All right, I just got off stage.
He was like, I'm done. Take the picture, hurry up.
You got any shout outs?
There's too many people. We've had close to like 350 guests in here.
How long did y'all have the show for?
We started September 2013, so
Okay,
6
dope.
years.
Dope. It's a nice little time, bro.
Good little run.
Every week.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Except Thanksgiving and if it landed on Christmas.
Who was the crackingest guest you had?
The crackinest guest?
Ooh.
Like,
Besides me, obviously.
I
I
honestly.
was like, wait, was this
Bro,
a trick
honestly,
question?
all right, so I'm gonna do my top 5. I'm gonna say Boy Genius, Gatman, DJ Nafis, Mustafa Rocks, and man,
Me.
the fifth.
Right.
And Holt for sure. Top 5. That was my top 5.
So when cause I'd be seeing I see 21 and I don't know.
So 21
Kuko,
Savage, 21
they playing,
Savage.
right?
Yeah, that's so I'm DJing that concert. That's Saturday.
So do y'all ever get what I'm asking is when those shows come in for UIC and stuff, do y'all ever get them to come in and do a little
I
thing?
tried, but the campus here don't really mess with me like that. Surprisingly,
That's
for some
whack.
reason, they only
That would
like
be
me.
such
They
a
only like me
clean
because I
look.
DJ
Right.
well. So I DJ'd here for Drum. I DJ'd here for Nick Jonas.
Yeah.
And then this Saturday I have Kuko and 21 Savage.
Oh, yeah, Kuko's tight. I like him a lot. He's sick. He's about to be super big.
Facts.
Like super big.
Yeah, I know.
Bro's gonna be on something. But yeah,
That's that.
that's fire, bro. I'm sad I never knew about it, bro. I just found out about it right now. Like,
You know what's crazy? We asked Mano about coming through.
Yeah,
too,
we
right?
did. We did
Yeah,
at
when
the
we were
Timbuk-
at the Timbuk.
too.
Yeah, like 3 years ago, right?
but did you follow up though?
Tribute.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
It's okay though.
It was
Honestly, after all these years, we just can you turn the fan on, please? It's very hot in here again. Thank you. After all these years, we started not taking stuff personally, right?
Don't ever,
because,
bro.
No,
Never.
it was not. Because it's like a lot of guys we would see when we would DJ, and it's like, yo, like, you want to come through, and then they'll never hit us back. But it's like, yo, like, because we started living that way where we would get too busy. And
You
people-
forget,
Yo,
bro.
Yeah.
Our schedule right now is like super crazy. Like we're traveling out of town now to
Yeah.
do these gigs out of state. and it's like, bro, we forget that we have stuff like, you know what I'm saying? We don't write it down.
Now
it just
imagine
blows
if
our
that's
mind.
every week, bro.
It is
Times,
every week.
well, imagine
Right.
It's starting
times
to get- it's
100.
starting to
Yeah,
get-
yeah,
Bro,
right.
I have to use my Google stuff
Yep.
because
Your reminders
like
and all of that.
people think they only seen you do one thing in Chicago that's or like one thing in whatever city that's what you do. It's like no, I got something I gotta do in Dallas. I got something I gotta do in Paris. I got something to do. You know, every day I got something I gotta get done. I'm backed up for the next.
And your whole ass parent.
Right, and bro. And
forget that one. I gotta put that in there, 'cause you're a whole ass parent.
Yeah, my son turned 3, and I'm active with my son. I'm not trying to be that dude that's not in his life. So like, it's like you can't never take none of this stuff personal. I be forgetting homies' weddings, all of that stuff that I said I was gonna be at, but I'll be like my yeah, what's good?
Tyler Gordon. This is our co-host for years, bro.
My brother Vic Lloyd, right? He had a baby announcement, and I put it in my thing and everything. I'm like, I gotta be there. And then I saw it the next day, the video, and I was just like stuff that I really wanted to be at. You know what I'm saying? Things that I blocked out time for that you got so much going on. Like, dude, I got a factory space. I'm like, I'm wearing my own clothes. I'm doing too much.
Right.
So it's like, you can't never take this stuff personal.
Right.
Because they'll genuinely be dead serious about coming.
Right.
And it just
It
don't
just
don't line up.
It just don't
You
work.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's all it is. Stuff just don't line up sometimes.
And it taught us a whole lot being on the show, man, and then listening to everything, and then like that, you know, not taking things personal.
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
easy to
everybody
be
gotta
offended,
work.
bro.
Hey, quick shout out, we got DJ Your Honor from New York City in this building.
What up?
New York State, I'm sorry.
It's
And
New
you're
York
from the
City.
city, yeah.
Right,
you're-
I'm
New York. It's
Queens,
literally
bro.
called
Yeah.
New York, New York.
Right.
Man, I live in Queens. You like really getting on me right now.
Nah, sorry. I haven't been to New York in
It's
a
like
few
New York,
years.
the
so
hood.
I
It's
forgot.
Queens.
I haven't
Queens
seen
is
you in
like its own spot.
I haven't
though.
seen you in like 3 years, bro.
I know. The time you were in New York, I was on tour somewhere
Yeah.
else too. By the way, I just added your album to my iTunes, and I'm like,
Yes.
and if you
Friendship.
can get me a couple downloads, I'll definitely rock it
Yeah,
out
bro,
when
I'll
I'm back
send
in
you
the
the whole
city.
thing.
No,
Yeah.
Check it out.
Huge in
Check
New
it out.
York,
Check it
bro.
I
out.
love. I just came from New York 2 days ago.
We need
Yeah,
everybody
I
to
just
go
flew
and do
in
that right
9/11
now.
too. No, I get it. Fashion Week, I heard was dope,
It
man.
was nuts, bro. It was nuts, and I definitely won.
Anybody tuning in, the official Thumpin' Thursdays after party will be at Output at 5:30 p.m. So we're gonna go get these wings done.
Oh, we're going
I'm
Word up.
so,
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
so
see.
rocking with
We're
an
going
early
output.
after party.
And after that,
I'm not
we'll see
coming.
what we're
I'm just
drinking
saying,
at.
I like
I
that
like
idea. Yeah.
I like it.
I'm sober and all, but you know I got
I'm happy
some
about
wings.
Wings, though.
By the way, C's, congrats on 6 years, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And,
Congratulations, bro.
You know,
It's a team effort. It's a team effort.
I feel honored to be your final, interview. It feels cool, bro.
the honor and privilege is mine too.
Yes, we. Your honor.
Well, thank y'all very much. We gotta start cleaning up in the last 5 minutes, man. But
Lit.
I'm gonna end it with a whole song. So here we go. He's Ace. This is my favorite song off the project.
Yeah, it's for
okay.
ballers only.
Let's get it.
Mine is